Good afternoon, Master Tanaka. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, friend Alan. We are the Gather Fraternity, and we are here to bring some guidelines. All beings are even look at themselves, and through this look, I come to understand a little more how the human being works. Because each step they take in their lives means that they are walking towards a goal, and that is what must always be present in their lives. There are many of the beings that are inhabiting planet Earth, and they are in this incarnation without any objective, because they no longer remember the objective that they placed in their reincarnation plan. And when they pass living life through habits, so we say that they have disconnected from themselves and disconnected from what they call desires. So I observe that when there are no desires, logically there will be no objective, because life, I can put it, it takes on a direction from the moment in which beings begin to know themselves and allow themselves to have desires, and turn all those desires into decisions. That is why it is said that each decision that each human being makes for himself is assuming the responsibility of guiding his own being, of making choices that are always aligned with his desire. When each being starts to observe the spiritual world, then everyone who is to accompany our messages, there is even a desire to live in this spiritual world. But what happens? As this spiritual world for all of them is not known in a rational way, then they begin to suggest what this spiritual world would be. What is always said, when you start to reason about factors that are not within a rational logic, then we say that you start to interpret. And within these interpretations, each one will generate an experience. But this experience is not within the truth of God, because this experience is only representing the belief that each one carries. That's why when you remain in interpretations, the belief, it remains the same, because the belief will only change when you allow yourself to change your thinking, to change your feeling. So it is always said that everything in their lives starts with a decision. The decision to know the truth of God. It is always stated that every being originates from God's truth, because everyone is formed from God's energy. So of course, truth is already your being. But when you reincarnate, you come to a goal. So for that goal, many beings simply left these truths in store to experience what they determined. So, in many reincarnation purposes, only the illusion is present. That's why, when these beings reincarnate, they are under the strong influence of their own belief. Because everything that he assumed as truth is what will be established. But when within the incarnation, as everyone has the power of choice, of course they can make a change. They can, through the manifestation of their incarnate desire, generate a new decision. The decision to experience, to recognize the truths of God. And we always say that the recognition, it is generated in a way through experiences that you allow yourself. That is why it's always been stated that when you open up to recognize the truths of God, those truths naturally manifest and become your experience. All that we are describing here, of course, is subject to your choice. It is subject to what you consider to be of value for this incarnation, which is why we are always guiding that when you enter into a process of self-knowledge. That self-knowledge becomes more and more expansive when you allow yourself to recognize at least some truths. It is not necessary for you to have, I would even say, an expansion of full consciousness. But no matter how small the portion you allow yourself to perform, this small portion will, yes, give you conditions to increasingly generate knowledge that make you have great learning experiences in this incarnation, learning that you keep in your being for a lifetime. Because life is a continuous line. Life is never interrupted. So it's clear that each learning you acquire modifies everything you know here as an electromagnetic field. And through its electromagnetic field, many beings also start to allow themselves to have similar experiences. Experiences where they also allow themselves to know a portion of the truth of God. With gratitude, I say goodbye. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.